Quite often in these Wonderkid to Superstar videos, we focus on the 1000 goal strikers, the pacey, electric inside forwards, but we don't give enough attention maybe to some of the other positions. So in today's video, I'll be giving you a world-class fullback option who can be picked up for super cheap, and he has a great chance to be one of the best in the world in your saves if you sign him. So let's run the intro and check him out. Hi everyone, Jake here for FMSCOUT. Welcome to another episode of Wonderkid to Superstar, where we take a Wonderkid in FM23 and put them to the high end of their potential range to see what kind of player they might become in your save. Today's player is an absolute gem of a fullback. Like I say, he's a bargain and also does very well. So without further ado, let's go check him out. But whilst I go over to him, I'd like to ask you guys, if you do end up enjoying this video, then please do smash the like button because it really will help with the video's performance. And whilst you're on it, go to the comments and let us know who you'd like to see next, and subscribe for more content like this. But if you were watching, you might have noticed that we've gone over to the Portuguese divisions and to FC Porto. Now I could go into their full squad and take a look around to find him, but he's already coming up here as their hot prospect is none other than fullback Martin Fernandez. Now stick with me in this video because I'll show you how we take this young promising fullback into one of the best defenders the world has ever seen. He is a phenomenal player at full growth, and you can see how that might end up happening because of these base attributes that he starts with. The 16-year-old is very strong physically right from the bat. He's quick, agile, and has good balance. He's also got some decent stamina too, and those physicals are going to develop a lot over the next few years. He's only 16, of course, at this stage, and they will change massively. But then when it comes to his mental attributes, he is lacking in a few areas that are going to need to develop over time, but his positioning is strong, his work rate is strong, and that's a great base to build up from in terms of an attacking fullback option. He's a good crosser, good dribbler, good first touch, good passing, technique and tackling. He's not really lacking in too many areas all that much. He wouldn't really start for a world-class club anytime soon. He wouldn't even play for Porto for 3 or 4 years. But for the sake of a simulation, we're going to bring him over to Real Madrid and force the assistant manager to play him as often as possible. But for the first few years, yes, he wouldn't be able to play at a high level. But if you signed him for £2.5 million, you would be getting a bargain compared to the kind of player he can become. You'll be playing the long game with him, but Martin can be exceptional. So now let's move him over to Real Madrid and I'll show you how we get him to be that exceptional player that we're talking of. Okay, here he is. We've lined him up in a 4-2-3-1 Gegenpress preset, and we have him on the wing back on the attack duty. No additional instructions, as you can see. In terms of his training, I'm just asking him to focus on the position that he'll be playing in the tactic to develop those attributes. I like to do their progression fairly naturally, so when it comes to the additional focus, I'm leaving it on none. But to you guys, if you wanted him part of your team as soon as possible, I'd probably work on that marking and try and iron out the errors in his game as opposed to improving the things that he's already good at. He does have a balanced personality, but I'm asking some of the best personalities at the club to mentor him in the hopes of changing that and getting his personality to be better. But before we go any further, I should let you know his potential range, which is 140 to 170. So on the low end, if he can reach that potential, definitely worth that initial investment. And on the high end, he would be exceptional for you. We use the editor to bring him over. He's been at Porto since he was very young by the looks of it. But now let's forward ahead a few years and see how he's getting on at the lower end of his potential range. Okay, we're here in 2029. A lot of years have passed and Martin Fernandez is developing, slowly mind you, but he is starting to become the player that we knew that he could. At this stage, he's 23, so he's been playing for a number of years and he's currently on the lowest end of his potential range at 140 right now. His current ability does start off quite low as a 16-year-old, so he had a lot of room to make up. I think he had a few major injuries here or there as well, which was slightly unfortunate for the simulation, but this man is turning into a real beast of a fullback. Yes, he's being compared to some of the best players at the club, and these star ratings will change a lot in this simulation, so don't trust them too much. But if we're talking about his physical attributes, he's got everything that he needs. Jumping reach, acceleration, pace, stamina, and strength. Then it comes to his mentals, where his concentration is great. Decision making, anticipation, positioning, all of that that is at a very high level, as are most of his technical attributes, where he's got 13s for most of the important ones. Obviously, we want him to do a little bit better than this, and he will as the simulation goes on, but if we're talking about how he's performed in the in-game engine, considering he started off as a 16-year-old, he did pretty well in his first season with 7 assists. Then he starts to play regularly, hitting consistent 7 average match ratings, getting better and better each year, and he's been getting 7+ assists every season, so he's doing very well in that sense. But we do want to see what kind of player he can become at full growth. Obviously, you guys will be managing him hands-on, training him properly, giving him the right development, stopping him getting injured, all of that great stuff, so you'll probably have more success than I will. But even saying that, just prepare yourself for what you're about to see when he's at full growth. The year is now 2034, we're over 10 years into the future, Real Madrid have won the La Liga title, and our guy Martin Fernandez has been developing very, very well. I mean, he's already considered a 4-star player at the club with a great average match rating this year, but just look at these attributes. I'll let you sit there and take a look at them for a second whilst I let you know that I do have my own channel linked in the description down below. We've got a Let's Play series going on over there with Aberdeen, as well as some one-off rebuilds. There was a Benfica one that came out yesterday. If any of you want to check it out, I'd massively appreciate it. But Martin Fernandez is 28 years of age here, a Portugal regular with 42 appearances and 6 goals, so they're probably playing him in a more attacking sense than what we're doing. His physical attributes are some of the best I've seen in that fullback position. Acceleration, agility, balance, pace, stamina, strength, jumping reach. This man has got it all. Then we're talking about his mental attributes. It seems like a lot of his attribute growth has taken place in this mental section. Obviously, if you guys were training him more hands-on, you could have that in the technicals or the physicals, whatever you wanted to improve, but his concentration in this save is 19, his decision-making 16, and his positioning 19, which are phenomenal numbers, and I've never really seen those specific attributes that high, so it's quite cool to see. Dribbling is great, first touch is great, he's a brilliant crosser, good at marking, good at passing, tackling and technique. He's brilliant going forward, but equally can do a great job on the defensive side. Complete wing-back is a very specialised role, but Martin Fernandez can do it with ease. He's been a great player during the simulation, and in terms of his average match ratings, he's certainly Mr. Consistent at the back, and then a few years ago he was really hitting some numbers with 14 assists and 13 assists in 2 seasons in a row. I do have a save at the end of his career though, so let me quickly switch to that. I say the end of his career, it's not really, it's just a few years into the future. He's 32, 33 at this stage, but he's still hitting 10+ assists and doing very well. He's been very consistent at the back for our side and has easily became one of the best fullbacks in the game. He's a Real Madrid legend at this point, an elite fullback, and someone that even though he is declining now at 32, he's ended up with nearly 80 appearances for Portugal and 9 goals. He's been an incredible player, one of the best fullback options you can get this year. There aren't many to choose from, but Martin Fernandez, for his price and the player he can become, has to be the best for me. I think he's phenomenal and someone you should all sign in your save if you can. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I won't quite say he's a 10 out of 10 player, but he's still a very good option. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below and who you'd like to see next. Smash a like button if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and check out my channel in the description. But most of all, have a great day everybody, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.